All right, probably the most decisive and divisive and controversial event and character is coming back tomorrow. That's right, Darth Malak. And it all has 17,500 minimum character requirements, which now kind of makes sense why they did that, because you can't hack that. You can't hack your character's power level. That's all server side. But the event is insanely hard. And I got to say, there's at least two different ways that people beat this event. Two different videos that I'm going to suggest watching. One is the one that I did. And the way that I did it, because the light side is very difficult and the dark side is very easy. You can do the dark side basically with just basic attacks until you have enough stacks where you can one-shot Malak or just plow through Malak with your Darth Revan. But the light side is something challenging. Now, the way that I did it was very different than the way that most people did it. I did it with brute force. Basically, I got all of the pods down to red health, and then I AoE'd, and I completely ignored the droids on the side. But that is a brute force. There was a lot of Zetas, good gear, and very high gear levels and mods on this particular. Now, the more practical way, I believe, is the way that Arnold did it. Basically, where he was able to keep the stacks on Malak as low as possible by clearing through the droids and then only allowing Malak to take the crit hit immunity one. So that way, you're not able to crit Malak. And so you do less damage, but whenever you crit Malak, then you get fear, and you get basically, which is fear is like a version of stun in a lot of ways. And so the way that Arnold did it and a lot of other people did it is that they basically let him get this pod right here so that they could not crit Malak. That way they could get enough stacks of armor shred from Zalbar and keep his stacks under control, because when he gets to 30 stacks, he goes berserk and enraged. And you can do that by killing off the droid. So there's a lot of different things you can do. Now, the one thing I want to say, and I'm not trying to be a party pooper, but there's a couple things that kind of a little bit unsettling about this event is, well, first of all, Darth Malak makes the Darth Revan team insanely good. One of the few teams, no, wait a minute. The only team that really can hold on defense if you don't have Malak. Going up against Darth Malak team is sketchy. There's, Padme can do it, the suicide droids, but it's really one of the few teams that can hold up on defense. And then even a mirror match, it's all mod dependent. And I'm going to predict this, and I'm going to call this right now. And I don't want to be a party pooper, but I think we're going to have Malak. We're going to have Malak for like a month. Enough time for people like me to get Malak and spend the hundreds of dollars to gear him up and take them as high as possible. And then when everybody has Malak and all the second tier people, well, there's the hardcore whales that got Malak the first time around. And then people like myself who are moderate spenders, light to moderate spenders are getting him the second time around. We're going to have to spend money, or we have saved our gear ready to gear him up. And when all of those people have Malak ready to go, they're going to drop another event that was similar to Malak. And I'm not going to be surprised if it's something to do with the Padme team. It just seems like it's going to be a fifth character on the Padme team. It'll be a Padme leadership, and it could be a Master Kenobi. Now, I think a lot of people were hoping that it'd be Mace Windu, but I don't see it being Mace Windu. I see it being a new character. Probably it could be a team, a new version of Kenobi that replaces the old version of Kenobi, like a Master Kenobi or something like that. It's just like they're going to upset the meta. They've done this every time, that when the second wave and the second time the event comes around, then a new character that offsets this Malak team or that destroys this Malak team will be right around the corner, and then that will be the next team. It seems like, ever since Jedi Knight Revan, if you don't get the character the first time around, it seems like you're just like heavily punished. Like they make these new teams, whether it's been the two Revans, just so arena dominant So that we have. Now, the other thing I want to talk about real quick is I want to say, for me personally, I'm a fan of Grand Arena, and I understand that a lot of people aren't. And there's been a lot of controversy in the last month about Grand Arena and whether or not the game is hackable or cheatable, and there's cheaters. And I do think that they're going to come up with some sort of battle log system. I mean, I don't know if they are, but I know it's on Marvel Strike Force. And hear me out, because there is a little bit of controversy on this. What I know about this game and Marvel Strike Force and even other games like Summoner's Wars is that pretty much they're all hackable in some way or another. I actually just want to say this. Every game is hackable in some way or another. And any way that they could self-police or minimize the number of hacking, or if the community can identify hackers, it's going to be the most efficient. Now, in a real world, in an imaginary world where, you know, the developers have a bulletproof system that is completely hack-proof, the second someone even thinks of hacking the game, their account is deleted and they're tortured, it is not realistic. Basically, it's this cat and mouse, and there hasn't been a game in my entire experience of playing video games that has been completely hack-free, unhackable. It just doesn't happen. And so we have to look to other types of games like Galaxy of Heroes that have had success in combating hackers. And I hate to say it, but Marvel Strike Force last October had a huge hacking problem. And people were up in arms and outraged and enraged with hackers. And one of the things that they did was introduce this battle log system where you can see what teams you lost to, like a battle log history. And I still think the game is probably hackable, but nobody's talking about it anymore. Effectively, what's happened is if someone blatantly cheats against you and they use their single character, a Gear 1 cup, and it defeats your Malak team, you can see it in the battle log, and you're able to report them. Now, there are some people that don't like this idea. Theory crafters, some guilds have team comps that they don't want everybody to know, and they're kind of upset about this. They really don't want the battle log thing to come forward and to go out because it's going to eliminate some of their strategies that they've come up to. But we kind of already have that a little bit. Like, we can see everybody's mods, and I'm pretty sure if we couldn't see our opponent's mods, then people would have secret mod strategies. But I haven't heard anybody complain about that. So the argument against this battle log system seems strange to me. And I mean, because I know that this battle log system in Marvel Strike Force was effective. I mean, the discussion and the talks of hacking has gone to zero since the battle logs came out. We just haven't heard of it. And yes, of course, in an ideal world, there would be a way of preventing it from happening or insta-banning people. But maybe in the near term, this battle log thing will minimize some of the effects from hacking, but not all of it. I just don't see another solution that would be available quickly, and I can only speak to the fact that it pretty much eliminated the hacking discussion inside of Marvel Strike Force. That's the reason why I'm a proponent for having these battle logs. I'm hoping the battle logs will come out, and I don't think it's going to eliminate all hacking. I mean, I kind of even wonder. I mean, like, there's that Acklay event just came out, and they said 80 people beat it. And the first thing that popped into my head is, like, I wonder how many of those 80 people just hacked it. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of a scary thing. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I just think, I want the Grand Arena to come back. I want to play it. I don't want to have to think about my opponent hacking or not. I don't even like the idea of even it being there in the back of my head. I don't feel like I've been hacked against. And I just want the event to come back and have fun because it's my favorite game mode. And I do think the battle logs will help a lot because at least then I'll be able to see who I lost against. And if the composition looked realistic, and then it's like, no worries. Okay, fine. But it's when the people blatantly hack and you lose to just like a blatant hack is really upsetting. Okay. Well, now it's time for the giveaway. I really hope you liked this video today, because if you did, you are in luck. Because today you're going to get for free in your account an 8 Red Star, not just regular stars, Red Star Gear 15 Malak.
This is not a scam.
That's right. You heard it here first. Gear 15 and 8 Red Stars are on the way. You know it. You want it. We're going to get it. Thanks for watching. Keep on gaming.